Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Let's get it. Hello.
Let's get this shit.
And welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, and I'm joined by my two friends who are both really intrigued by Venom's tongue.
It's true. Let's go. Also, hi, I'm Gaby, and
There it is.
I'm ready for some discussion. And also
I'm
to be
Colin.
clowned by Dallas.
Jesus.
Sorry, Colin.
I'm Colin, and Gabby just threw up a gang sign, and now I feel threatened.
It's just like, look what I learned to do in high school.
Which is funny because you guys can't see Colin, audience, but we also can't see
Neither
Colin.
can.
He is in a dark ass room looking like he's on gangland, and he's talking about Gabby throwing up gang signs.
Says the guy who is booling like from head to toe, as far as I can see. You got the red headphones, you got the red shirt, you got the red behind you.
Nigga, you might have red on too. I can't tell.
You know what I actually do?
He does. From
shadowy
like
ass.
the edges, the little edges of shadow I can see.
Anyway, yes, welcome back to Creative Differences, your one-stop shop for Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, movie reviews, sometimes a Top 5 Tuesday, not very often. But today, it's Thursday, Throwback Thursday. What up, everybody? We're talking about Venom.
Whoop whoop. Venom.
There it is. All right. Venom. Sorry, I can't stop myself. Anyway, Shadow Man, do you remember your first experience watching Venom?
That took me a second. I mean, I'm pretty sure I watched it with at least you.
I think so.
Maybe all of us. I don't know.
I want to say we were all there.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we were.
And it was an experience. Like, ooh, I walked into that movie feeling one way. I walked out of that feeling a different way. It was a nice time.
Can you describe the ways?
Yeah, before it was like, all right. And after it was like, oh, fuck yes.
That is the perfect amount of elaboration. Gabby,
See.
describe that same time since we were all watching it together.
I was like, wow, this is not as bad as I thought it would be. And then and then that's it. That's what it was. And I was like, wow, what that tongue do? And then
There it is. And we learned a lot about Gabby in the coming years.
Stop that. No.
Okay.
Also, it wasn't just me, okay?
No, I know. Colin too. It's a whole thing.
What?
Anyway, yes, as the Venom fan of the group, like comic book Venom, I was hyped. I was so excited that Venom was on the big screen and he wasn't Topher Grace. Topher, I love you, but Sony, what the hell?
For real.
Yeah.
Also, really to just like completely derail this.
All right.
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
Spider-Man 3 was such a disappointment because that suit looked so cool and they just did us dirty. And now we're moving on.
It did look really cool.
I remember being like, yo.
I was like, oh, they got the black suit.
And then
Nigga out
the
here
effects.
stunting with the fit.
The effect
Yeah,
looked
and
cool
then-
too. And then.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was hyped. And then I came out and I was like, I love it. And then I've seen it several times since and I love it every time. Also, we didn't say where Demi is. She's here, but she's not here. We'll just leave it vague and vague.
She's producing today.
Yes, in silence. Also, before we go any farther, please like, share, subscribe, review, because you need another podcast that focuses on appreciating things that we like instead of tearing down things that we don't.
It's
we're
That's why
positive over
Demi
here.
is producing today.
Wow.
Oh, Demi is here.
That's why Demi is producing.
Anyway, Venom. It's directed by Ruben Fleischer, who made the Zombieland movies, 30 Minutes or Less, and the upcoming Uncharted movie, apparently.
Ooh. With Spider-Man?
Yes. With Spider-Man. And I think Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be interesting.
Gabby, what is that? What is that face?
I was like, what?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Listen, he's just gonna go steal the brown people's treasure, and if you beat some up while you're there,
It's not the first time that's been in a Hollywood film. So I was gonna make a colonizer joke, and then it's gonna be too.
I mean, yes, it's
too
there.
bad.
Go ahead. That's the entire
Too
series.
what? Colin is making jokes about his hate crimes.
I'm like, too bad. It was just gonna be too like, no.
All right, moving on.
No colonizer jokes.
Venom is written by Jeff Pinkner, Scott Rosenberg, and Kelly Marcel. Jeff, you might know from writing The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Dark Tower, and the 2 new Jumanji movies. Scott Rosenberg wrote Con Air, High Fidelity, and the 2 new Jumanji movies. And Kelly Marcel wrote Saving Mr. Banks, 50 Shades of Grey, and worked on the story for Cruella.
Damn
She
it, I
got all
really
kind of
wanted to
reading.
get the 2 Jumanji movies.
High Fidelity, the movie with John Cusack.
Cool. Just wanted a clarification on that one.
Right. Not the show,
Yeah.
the movie. But yeah, Colin, I'm sorry. We couldn't get the 2 new Jumanji movies with Kelly. She didn't do
Damn.
that.
It's okay.
Tragic.
But she did Cruella, which is like another. No, that's not. Jumanji wasn't Disney. Forget it. Anyway, the movie stars Tom Hardy, Riz Ahmed, Michelle Williams, Reed Scott, and Tom Hardy.
Woo.
And the summary on IMDb says a failed reporter is bonded to an alien entity, one of many symbiotes who have invaded Earth. But the being takes a liking to Earth and decides to protect it.
So it just gives the whole plot away.
I mean,
Well, I
yeah, a little,
feel like the
not
plot
whole
isn't that deep, and that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like what did we expect from a Venom movie? Just like
Aliens.
some chaos.
and time.
Aliens and light chaos. Let's go.
I expect more.
To me, are you going to be in this episode
To
or not?
me.
He just said that whole thing about how we're trying to be a podcast that talks about things we like.
Colin,
Me.
what'd you think of the story?
The story is fine. I mean, like, it's like it feels like there's not that much of a story. It's like a lot of character work, but the story is just kind of Venom gets to Earth and is, bopping around. It meets up with Eddie, and wow, that's kind of wacky. And also Riz Ahmed is there, and there's another symbiote, and they do some shit. It's like, yeah, the story is perfectly serviceable, but nothing about it really excites me.
It's also just like, how do I put it? It's not like original or anything. It's an origin story.
Yeah.
And you kind of see where it's going the whole time. So I'm here for the character work.
It is
and,
a
like,
very,
the
very,
adventure.
yeah, it's a very, very character heavy movie. I do like, it's funny because a lot of the things that I like about the story could probably be attributed to the characters as well, because like the story for me is the dynamic between Eddie and Venom and how it progresses. Because also,
Yes.
Riz Ahmed is there and he's a whole psychopath.
He's just like a generic villain too, though. He's not anything special. So we could completely ignore that bit, honestly, and just focus on like the relationship between Venom and Eddie. Like that's the best part of the whole thing.
That is, but like, if you take out Riz Ahmed, then a lot of the stuff doesn't happen.
That's true.
Like,
But like what I mean
None
is
of this
like
happens.
okay. Yes.
Yeah,
But what I
Venom
mean
got
is
here on
like
his thing. Sorry.
okay, fine. Okay, I'll give it. Fine.
Della said, "Get fucked."
I'm just, he's not the best villain. Shout out to Riz Ahmed though. Like he did his thing with what he
Yes.
had. His performance was very good.
Yes.
And there's something about Carlton Drake, that's his character's name, like his complete lack of regard for human life doesn't make him like a very interesting villain, but it makes him, sometimes you gotta sit back and like, yo, you really wilding right now. Like, dude,
Like,
everything
you
that
don't
happens.
care.
And he has some, like, there are interesting things about him. Like he clearly has a God complex. Into that whole thing with Isaac, like, oh, God abandoned us. But this time I won't abandon us. Like, nigga, you just call yourself God.
See, the thing
Taking
about
homeless
that
people off the street.
is like,
What's up?
I think that would stand out to me if Kanye weren't doing that every 5 seconds. Like, Carlton Drake is just a dude.
Yeah, but as far as we know, Kanye is not killing homeless people. I like the story enough. It's a comic book story. Venom is the good guy. He has to fight the bad guy. Aliens, space, rockets, fire. Boom. Characters. Tom Hardy.
Oh
My man Tom.
my God.
He killed this performance in every
He
aspect
did.
of it. The
100%.
physical acting, the voice, the craziness. Like every time he
Yep.
reacts to Venom's voice in his head.
Yes. Also, the voice. Like, I don't think enough people such a great performance. Just amazing. I don't think it gets enough credit.
Honestly, the fact that he didn't get an Oscar for the lobster tank scene alone,
Right.
That
But
scene
like
is so great.
how do I put this? This is one of those moments where I'm like really upset about I really wish we would examine like individual performances a little bit more, because this is gonna sound dumb, but yes, I feel like he deserved like a nom for that, for the for that whole, because the voice and then just the way Eddie is interacting with it, like it's just talent. Oh, so good.
It is
And
talent.
like people are really only looking at movies as a whole for like big performances, but I'm like no, sometimes you just got to take like a guy and how he did it, even if it's a shit movie, but like if that one performance was amazing, he deserves an Oscar
I
now.
mean, they did that for Glenn Close last year. So,
What was she in?
Oh, was it
oh,
The Wire?
that
Was that
hillbilly
Hillbilly
movie?
Elegy?
Yeah,
Hillbilly Elegy? I heard that was like critically acclaimed though.
that movie was not
No.
critically acclaimed.
Audiences
Oh,
liked
okay.
it. Critics did not.
Okay, got it.
Which is
Well,
probably
all
the
right.
case for Venom. Too.
But like
To
I feel
bring
like that wouldn't happen with I mean, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
to bring some positivity from the differences side of creative differences today. Yeah, Tom Hardy is the best part of this movie.
He is, and he's most of what the movie is. Like he's playing the two main characters. Yeah, like Abby said, just for him to do both. You know, as they say in the streets, get you a man that can do both.
Yes.
And he is. He's that man. Like he's scaring himself. That's what we're watching. We're
Yeah.
watching Tom Hardy say, Eddie, and then he screams and falls into a bathtub. Like,
Yeah, it's like wild. Like it's just, and also when you think about like, I think it's also hard to conceptualize for like us like somebody like me that's never worked on a set. It's hard to conceptualize how that works, right? Because we're seeing like the finished product, right? But like what is filmed is Tom Hardy in a silent room going like
just jumping.
just jumping around going, what is this? Like,
It's probably
sure,
not
maybe there might be somebody.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody giving him his lines to react to. Probably not as well as Tom Hardy himself would be giving himself his lines, but there is somebody telling him off screen, here's when you're reacting.
Exactly. They're off screen, they're like, now. And he's like, fuck. Like, it's just like, I just like, it's just, it's still a big deal. Or like anybody that's just like fully enveloped by blue screens when they're acting, that shit's wild to me too. I'm like, yeah. Which is why, like, I think Demi and I talked about this with like Amelia Clark, where she's just like green screen, but like the emotion. And so you're just like, but we don't know, because we don't know there was nothing there, that she was reacting to fucking nothing. Like, so that's why I'm just like so impressed.
It is impressive. It is impressive. Also, just Eddie as a character he's a likable screw up for me. I'm very frustrated with him because he completely ruins his own life.
Yes.
Like by being an idiot. Everyone's like, hey, don't do this thing. Don't do this thing. Don't do this thing. And he's like, I'm going to do this thing. It's like, bro. And then he's going to blame everyone else.
No, this was you, buddy. This was all you.
But that's also funny because Annie has a line, and the way she delivers it, she says, basically, you ruin your own life, Eddie. Not Carlton Drake, not the network, you. And that line delivery, I cannot separate it from Ron Weasley telling Harry, not me, not Hermione, you.
Yo.
And it's like,
What?
Yo.
was she watching that movie that day? Because the cadence is this like, and I know it's like structurally it's a very similar line, but the way, not Carlton Drake, not the network, you have to finish this, Eddie. It's like, yo.
Oh god.
But
not me, not Hermione.
I also just watched that movie way too much growing up, so that's probably why I had that.
Which movie is that
I
from?
think everyone did. It's
That's
from
the first
Sorcerer's
one.
Stone.
And that's my
It's
wizard's
just-
chest,
The Wizard Chest?
Yeah, when like Ron's about to sacrifice himself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which I was thought I was sort of like, nigga, just jump off the horse.
Honestly.
Right? And he was like,
like it's the chess piece that needs to get hit, not you.
yeah.
Just slide
Like,
off the
we
back
lost
of
the
it. Like,
horse.
it's not that hard.
And it wasn't that high. Like, dude, just break your fall.
No,
Stop being a punk.
it was not. But the drama, Dallas, the drama.
Yeah, I guess. If I was here, I'm like, Ron, if you don't get off that horse.
Also, like TikTok has been like memeing the crap out of that scene lately, and it's
nice.
been chef's kiss.
Sounds hilarious. Anyway, yeah, that aside, I do love Eddie. He's funny. He's goofy. I love when he tries to disarm that mercenary in the woods and he immediately gets handled. Because so many movies will have a protagonist just inexplicably be able to do that. Like someone's pointing a gun at them and they're like, I know combat now. And it's like, why? You're a reporter.
Why? Like, how would you know that? Like,
And
no.
it's like, oh yeah, I guess it pays to be a specialist. I want to talk about Dan, Dr. Dan.
Oh, hell yeah.
My nigga. I love Dan. He is fantastic. he's, as Cinema Win says in his video for this, he's such a cliche dodge because
Yes, he's not
he
what you'd expect at
easily,
all.
yeah, and most often would just be this jerky new boyfriend who doesn't like Eddie, and it's someone for the audience to hate, like, oh, we don't like that guy. We want
Mhm.
Eddie to be with Annie. But Dan
Yeah.
is nice from the jump. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Eddie. I'm such a big fan of your work. It's like, oh, he's great. And then the next time he sees Eddie, Eddie's acting like a complete lunatic, jumping into lobster tanks. And he almost chokes Dan, like he almost eats Dan's face. And Dan's reaction isn't, we need to get away from this nigga. It's, please don't call the police. This man is my patient. And I'm like, yo,
Aw.
Dan is a ride or die for this man he does not know. And I
Like,
love him.
what a
And has
bro.
reason to dislike.
Yeah.
Right. Like all you know about him, aside from, he's very famous, but all you know about him personally is that he ruined your now girlfriend's life. And he's a weirdo and he just keeps showing up. He showed up at your house looking super strung out. But Dan is just like, nah, I'm a solid dude and I'm gonna take care of this guy. But also even his performance in that scene, like the way he looks, he says, please don't call the police. This man is my patient. Like he's like, I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna help you, Eddie. Shout out to Dan.
Aw. Yes, Dan is a good.
And even like there's a point later when Anne knows about Venom and she's talking to they get Venom out of Eddie. And then Dan sees Venom like squelching around the little MRI room. And Eddie runs out and Dan is talking to Anne. He's like, you want to tell me what the hell is going on? And for some reason Annie is like, I promise there's nothing going on between me and Eddie. And Dan is like, nigga, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this monster. He's like, I don't care about that. I'm very secure in our relationship. There's a alien in this room. Can you tell me about that? Like, you clearly know what's going on. That was great. Because I'm like, yo, it's like, Andy, you need to focus up right now. We're not worried about that.
He's such a nice genre subversion.
I like it. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say about the characters?
I really like Tom Hardy's version of Venom is all. Like, just I love that Venom's just like, I'm just here to eat. And like, yeah, if you got rules, I guess.
I guess.
And I love how like he's low key making Eddie a better person.
Fair.
So that's
Also,
all I have to say. Yeah.
Speaking of eating, what are your thoughts on Venom's tongue?
Colin, I'm gonna let you take this one.
I was not the one who was asked the question. That was directed at you. So, Gabby, I think
It was kind of an open-ended, like, for whoever
I feel
wants to
like
jump on
it
that.
was the point is listen, I already said what I feel about that tongue at the beginning, and it's what that tongue do. Like, that's it. Next question.
Colin, same question.
It's a tongue.
All right, Colin. I get it. You got your whole witness protection vibe. You're sitting in the shadows. You don't want to be seen. Like,
Audience,
if you want to
I
hide,
want you guys to know that they are both lying to you right now.
they have said the most out-of-pocket things about in the past. We're not going to say exactly what they said because it's their right to keep that hidden from you. I believe in transparency. Like, personally, I don't know. Like, I thought we
No,
were
you just
honest
like
with each other.
embarrassing your friends in the public
That's
forum.
what it is.
That falls in line with transparency.
Transparency is an individual choice.
Yeah. If you want to choose to be fake, that's cool.
I'm not being fake. I said what I said.
You did say what that tongue do. It was you just very, very.
I was tame.
Yeah, you tamed what you think, and I respect that too. That's fine. Yeah, they've said crazy things about the tongue, but they don't want to say them on mic. I respect that. It's fine. Hit us up in the comments to find out what they really think.
Stop that.
This is the kind of content that makes me think like maybe we could justify a Patreon sometime down the line. Like, we'll give you guys the real stuff if you pay us money.
If we get like
No,
then maybe.
because I would
But
want
no.
people to still want to listen to me talk.
Colin, people are going to want to listen to you way more if they know what's really going on in that head of yours. Anyway, moving on. Visuals and sound. The symbiotes look great.
Yeah,
They're
they look
so
really good.
creepy, and the way they move is so off-putting. Even like the blue and the yellow ones when they're in the tank. That scene with Isaac, the extra whose name I know for some reason. He's the one that does the body horror stuff when the blue one gets inside him. When the blue one crawls up his body, it gets really close to his face. And you can see like I don't want to say like residue, but like it touches his face and pulls back, and there's like a string of
Ooh.
something. And I'm like, yo, that level of like
Of detail.
they put that detail in there. And it's like that symbiote doesn't even have a name. But they were like, yo, we're gonna make them all look great. And that scene is straight up body horror, but it is super effective. Like this, if they wanted to make a horror movie about symbiotes, it'd be so easy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It'd be
Venom looks
great.
amazing. Like seeing him done well in live action makes me so happy because I grew up always being a fan of Venom. So when he finally shows up, picking people up, tonguing down random mercenaries, he looks great. The teeth are there, the eyes are there, everything's great.
It's true. And the voice, like, wow.
Yeah, that voice is real good.
Shout out Tom Hardy and whoever did that with his voice. Sony people. Some of the shots, like when Eddie first gets home with Venom in his body and he's going through the trash looking for food, the way they shoot that scene, the angles and the zooms in on his face, like everything is so great at creating that sense of like, oh, something's really wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Like
Yeah.
dude's grabbing that chicken and it's just like so close on his face. I'm like, oh my God, I feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Shout out
yeah,
to
but like,
Matthew Libatique, who is the cinematographer of Venom. He also did A Star is Born, Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, and Iron Man 2. He's one of my favorite cinematographers.
Go ahead, Matt. Do your thing.
yeah.
You're out here killing it. With
Yep.
the cinema.
He's really good. Actually, now that I'm thinking about the movies he's done, he's really good at like framing unsettling. Like because there's some really like sad and like for A Star is Born, there's a couple scenes where like just the way that it's filmed, you can tell that there's turmoil and that there's like urgency. And it's just the way that it's framed. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he's good at that.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Colin,
Me.
what are your thoughts on the visuals?
I mean, I'm with you. Like for the most part, it looks like a movie, but what sets it apart is like how good the symbiotes look. And they do some
Yeah.
cool stuff like fighting in smoke and like that when nobody can see him in that like lobby with the dudes.
Yo,
And it's like, yeah, that
I love
shit
that scene
is
so
so
much.
cool.
I have a thing for like fog, smoke, shots like that where something's like coming out of the smoke.
Have a thing, huh?
Mm.
I do have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got a thing for
Mm-hmm.
smoke, I guess. I don't know how to finish that
Mhm.
sentence. Even the way that scene starts with like the mask copy bit, I
Mhm.
love that so much. Just cinema.
Ayo, I
And
also
like
just
Cinema.
discovered that Libatique also worked on Straight Outta Compton and on
nice.
Black Swan.
Yo,
that's
I'm
intense.
telling you, he's good at filming unsettling.
He's amazing. That's
He
why
is.
he's one of my favorite cinematographers.
Black Swan made me super unsettled.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I saw that movie. I didn't go back to Limley for like 8 years. It's unrelated, but
You blame the thief.
It's unrelated.
all
but
kind of Black Swan. Like, I'm not coming back here.
You were like the energy. It's ruined.
Yeah, I can't do that again.
Darren Aronofsky.
But then Your Name came out, and all my weeb friends were like, "We have to watch it. It's at the Limley."
And all my
That's
weeb
what got you back?
Yeah, I worked at a movie theater. I wasn't going to Limley for. I see movies for free.
Fair point.
And yeah, shout out to you and all the weebs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene is dope. The mass copy bit, in addition to being just super badass, I like how it demonstrates their communication and relationship is growing to a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they work together now. They're a team. I like that.
Yeah.
One thing that disappoints me is that there's a really cool shot of Eddie getting the symbiote ripped off of him by Riot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm disappointed because that's an iconic shot of his fight with Carnage in the comic books.
Oh.
Aww.
And now it's like, I don't think we're going to do it again because it's like you guys did that last
Yeah,
time. But that
probably
should have
not.
been a scene for Carnage to do.
Mm,
Womp
okay.
But,
womp.
They got their stuff.
Maybe
But,
it was like they didn't know if they were going to get a sequel. So
Yeah,
they
I feel
were
like they're like, if we get a sequel, that'd be great. But if not, we got to get this shot out because it's really cool.
Yep.
Wasted on Riot.
Got
Nobody
it.
cares about Riot. Off of the visuals, the sound. Shout out to Ludwig Göransson because
Yes.
he didn't go off like he did for Black Panther because Black Panther
No.
is like a masterpiece of score and
He literally got an
stuff.
Oscar for it.
As he should. But he did a good job with this one too. Like it builds tension well when it needs to. The
Yeah.
chase scene music really amps me up. So Ludwig on the Ludwig. He's one of the
Yeah.
best for a reason.
He is.
I love both of the hip hop songs in the credits. Venom by Eminem and Let's Go by Run the Jewels. Both fire.
Venom. Sorry.
I don't know. Do you guys have anything to say about the sound? Before we move on?
All I was gonna do is say thank you, Eminem, for Venom. And that's it.
Colin, any
Is
sound?
Ludwig gonna Ludwig?
bites?
Like
Ludwig on Ludwig.
all right. See, okay, like positivity.
It sounds like a movie.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it sounds like a movie.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you don't really talk about scores in movies very often.
Because I don't
I do
really
like
pay attention to them much.
that's fair. I've started to pay attention to them more lately. I do like the synthy bits, like
Mm.
the when the symbiotes show up. I don't know how to do it because I'm not a beat
Sound
machine.
person.
I'm a human.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are cool. Moving on. Favorite things. I'm guessing it's Tom Hardy for everyone and his performance
See.
as Venom.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess.
Well, Colin.
Yeah.
Well, never
Stop.
mind. I was gonna what? You don't even know what I was gonna say, Gabby. What was I gonna say?
Yes, I did.
What was I gonna say? What do you think?
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Nah, you're right. Colin, what were you gonna say? Colin, what's your favorite thing about the movie?
I mean, I guess like instead of Tom Hardy, I would say more just like the characters of Eddie and Venom. Like, yeah, Tom Hardy did a great job, but like I'm more
Yeah,
attached to the characters than just his performance. Because like,
that's fair. I
yeah,
agree with you because he's fantastic, but he's fantastic, and I enjoy it because of the characters he's playing and how well he's playing them. Their
Yes.
dynamic is my favorite thing.
yeah, it's like I don't know. Their relationship is so not like I expected it to be a lot more antagonistic, at least for more of the movie,
Mm.
and it was like
Mm-mm.
a lot more like learning to get along, and I love that.
Nice little
Friendship.
buddy friendship,
Comedy.
kind of, a journey. Although it blurs the lines of friendship when they make out in the woods because he's on Annie. That was a weird
Yeah,
scene.
that was well. I
That's not
mean,
something I would have done.
their relationship in the comics, from what I've seen of certain panels, is like pretty erotic. So, or if not erotic, pretty romantic. So, like, it tracks.
I was gonna say, Colin, I think you might be on different kind of sites if you're seeing erotic stuff. This isn't. This is not that kind of podcast. I mean, it has been in the past, but
Stop it. Oh gosh.
yeah. Gabby, do you have any Rule 34 related thoughts on Venom?
I do not. Let's move on.
She's good. She's good. She will sidestep that at every opportunity.
Gabby's really
Yes,
politicking this
so.
episode.
She is. She's gotten better. Yeah. I remember when every other episode she'd say out loud that she's not a furry.
Still not. Let's move on.
Moving on. Let's keep it on Gabby. Gabby, what are you expecting from the next sequel?
I hope that they show us a little bit more of Venom with Eddie. I really like that dynamic, and so I hope to see more of that. I'm looking forward because Woody Harrelson is such a great actor. I'm looking forward to his portrayal of Carnage. I hope he doesn't make it too campy. I hope it's like the right level of camp and also terror.
Mm.
I'm really excited to see Carnage. I didn't think we were going to get him so soon, if at all. So it should be interesting.
I dig it. Colin, thoughts?
The thing, like, as someone who hasn't read the comics, Venom 2, kind of like as excited as I am for it, it kind of just looks like the first one all over again. Like, Venom and Eddie still, working stuff out and then fighting basically another version of themselves. And so, like, I don't know, like, I'm excited for it because of the first one, but from what the second one has presented to me, I'm like, I don't get what makes this any different from the first one. Like, I get that people love Carnage, but to me, he's just another symbiote. So, can we do something else?
Interesting. You might be more interested in Naomi Harris's character. We haven't seen a lot about her in the trailers.
I think she just
But
screams once.
she is, yes. She's not a symbiote. She is Cletus Cassidy's love interest.
Interesting.
And her name is Shriek.
Hmm.
And she has sonic powers, which is tricky because Venom is weak against sounds.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. So we can get something. Also, Naomi Harris is a fantastic actress. So
That too.
Yeah, dude, the range.
the range. Yeah. So I'm excited to see more of her. I'm excited for everything. Venom, Carnage. Like Gabby said, Woody Harrelson's a great actor. I don't love serial killers as much as Gabby does, but I am interested in Cletus Cassidy.
I
What, Gabby?
resent that.
Do you?
I do not like them. I am again morbidly fascinated, but I
Fair.
do not like
Fair.
their
Feels like
pieces of
different
shit that
names
should
for
have
the
gone to
same
therapy
thing.
instead of starting to kill people. That's all I have to say.
All right. Fair. Colin, what'd you say?
This feels like different names for the same thing. Morbidly fascinated, like.
They should have gone to therapy instead of starting to kill people. That's all I have to say about that.
But it does, like, at the same time, if they hadn't killed people, you wouldn't have the content that you love so much. So,
No, people kill people all the time, just not serially.
right. But I mean the content that you love specifically. is the true crime stuff with the
I
killing.
wouldn't say love
I would.
again. Just can't stop watching it. Let's move on.
It's more like an addiction than a love.
Let's move on.
Anyway, yeah. I think the next one's going to be dope. Like Colin said, it kind of looks very similar to the first one. But for me, it looks like the first one, but better. Because my issues with the first one are it takes too long for Venom to Venom. But now he's going to be Venom from the jump, so we don't have to wait for that. Riot's not an interesting villain. Now we have Carnage, so that's fixed. The first one has no black people? Question mark. There's
Oh.
one black man. Eddie's boss fires him. He's black.
Oh,
Shout out to I think it's Ron Cephas Jones.
Just one.
Ron
like,
Cephas.
just
I think it is.
so people can like shut up.
Yeah.
You just throw 'em in
But
there.
yeah, now we have Naomi Harris. So shout out
Yeah,
to
what
black
a
people.
movie.
Yeah, while we're
But yeah,
doing
I'm
shout
excited.
outs real quick, shout out to Scott Deckert, who plays Eddie's neighbor, who's playing rock music way too loud all the time. I know
Yeah.
him. I've met him a couple of times. He's a real nice dude.
Nice.
Eh,
He was funny. I wonder if he's moved by now. He probably
I
moved.
would have.
I would think.
Yeah.
Or he got eaten.
You can't
He either
live next
moved
to
or
that
got
thing.
eaten because that man was not going to survive.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully he didn't get eaten. But yeah, that's Venom. Those are our thoughts. Any final thoughts that you guys want to say?
No.
That was so dramatic.
She looked like that Bugs Bunny meme.
Oh yeah.
And his face is out stretches. No. Colin, final thoughts? Venom? The character? The movie? The
I'm
weird
gonna
art that
go
you
on
see online?
record and say that Venom is objectively good as a movie, and if you don't like it, you're wrong.
Yeah, we can fight in these streets later.
Oh my God.
They're going to throw hands.
Thank you, audience, for listening to all of that. I'm sorry that Gaby and Colin are not transparent with you. We'll try to work on
I was
that.
very transparent. I was just not detailed.
You were moderately transparent.
Whatever.
If you were
Dallas,
very
what?
transparent, you would have said some wild stuff.
That's for the privacy of the group
See,
chat.
Dallas, we
Yes, come on.
talk all the time about how, like,
Yes.
you know, you want to be careful what you say because 5 years down the line, you know, if you try to, like, if you get some fame, people be like, oh, 5 years ago, Gabby was like, ooh, Kovu, right? So I'm not trying to end up on that level.
And right now, it was like 5 years ago, Gabby was like, Venom, what that mouth do? Like,
All right, that's fair. But, you know, if either of y'all getting famous, I'm leaking everything y'all say.
oh, Lord above.
I'm gonna be
There's so
TMZ.
many screenshots.
It's gonna be crazy.
Screenshots just leaked of Gabby Sora being out of pocket when it comes to Venom.
Can't wait to write that headline. Anyway, audience, yes.
I'm
Thank you
sorry,
for
hold on.
listening.
That would
Oh, what's
be
up?
They
absolutely
leaked.
hilarious because the headline is screenshots just leaked of her being out of pocket about
It's
Venom,
like
but it's
you
literally just
leaking
you leaking it in this article.
Or like screenshots just leaked because I leaked them.
Screenshots being leaked. Continue reading. Here are the screenshots. I can't wait. Anyway, as I was saying, audience, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for our next episode, which is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And then, you know,
Venom.
we'll see if they've opened up a little bit in terms of sharing their actual thoughts. But they did good. They did good. Everybody did good. Anyway, thank you, Crown Digital. As always, Brandon and Io, you put us on Spotify, you put us on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you. To me, thank you for editing, for putting us on YouTube, for popping in here and there for some shout outs and a splash of negativity.
Nah, it's just the differences part. You know, got to make sure we're on brand.
That's true. Thank you, Colin and Gabby, for repping for the people who lust after monsters and their tongues, but repping in like a tame way.
You just mad because you didn't get the content you wanted, Dallas.
I'm also upset that I didn't get the content I wanted.
Girl, you don't even like this movie. Go home.
No.
But
I
you're
was
just
you
like
guys.
here.
I was expecting this episode to give, and it did not give enough.
Right, you know how long we've been waiting to do this episode with you guys because we know how y'all feel.
I keep certain thoughts to certain groups. I express those thoughts to certain people, and I'm not
We
about
are
to
that group.
express that to a bunch of random strangers on the internet because I got some sense.
All right, well, you have another chance next time.
I provided something.
You did. Shout out to Gabby. She's out here coming through. Anyway,
Something I'm gonna regret in the future, but whatever.
you might.
Yep, definitely 100% gonna regret it.
Yeah, audience, what'd y'all think of Venom? Are you excited for the next one? Are you also wondering what that tongue do? let us know in the comments or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, where you can find our podcast, because now Facebook lets you put podcasts right on the page. So
Woo.
if you're still using Facebook, you can listen to it there. Though you're already
Oh God,
listening
my
to it.
mom's gonna listen to my podcast.
Oh, good thing you didn't say anything too crazy. Sorry, Gabby's mom. I apologize for the route
Ever
your daughter
implying
has.
anything.
I don't know where you went wrong with her, but
Stop.
now
it.
she's
We're
over
too
here
far.
thirsting after aliens. All right. If you have a platonic love for Venom like I do, you can hit me up on Twitter and or Instagram at a king named Simba, and we can talk about it.
Hi. You can contact me on the Instagrams at Stegosaurus, but we're not gonna talk about Venom. Just to let you know.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
Yes, you can. I don't think you can find me. Nah. All right. It's been different. Bye.